Steve, this is Mission Control, please pick up. Steve, Mission Control, please pick up. What's up there, Mission Control? Hey, we've noticed a couple of settings are not completed yet. Could you do me a favor and do another check on the mission computer? Already did. Pretty sure you didn't. Definitely did. Could you, please disengage from the phone? I'm not on the phone. Steve, you just updated your Facebook. Why would I be on Facebook? See, I'm looking at your Facebook right now. You just updated it. Steve? We have some pretty strict regulations against using your cell phone during landing procedures. Landing procedure? What are you talking about? You're in deorbit burn right now? Deorbit!
Hey there, Steve. I got some good news, some bad news, some bad news, some good news. Not necessarily in that order. So you've been in an accident, your rocket kind of crashed, and you're missing a couple arms, looks like a leg, an eye, and some other parts that I really can't identify right now, to be honest with you. They're kind of messed up there, you know? If you think it's bad being you, I gotta look at it. Yeah. So, anyway, good news is we can rebuild you. We have the technology. But the bad news is NASA really doesn't have the budget. But they did give me a bunch of these. Yeah, so I'm just gonna basically throw them together and rebuild some legs for you and stuff. Oh, and arms. Yeah, and it's gonna be great. You're gonna be amazing. It's gonna be the best thing that ever happened to you, really. Nurse, can we get him knocked out now? We gotta hurry up before the police show up.
Retro Rock plays everything.
Hey ladies and germs, today we're going to be looking at the RS-97, sometimes called the Coolboy RS-97, sometimes called the RetroGame RS-97, sometimes called all sorts of things when they're selling it on eBay. It's a very interesting device because it uses the exact same shell as the Revo K101, which was a Gameboy Advance based game system. This doesn't run GBA carts though. This runs off an SD card and it's based off of Dingu's handhelds, which I was a big GP2X fan, so Dingu is kind of the competing handheld to it, and I thought it had some interesting stuff. They actually share a website for downloading code from, so pretty neat thing, I think, anyway. Want to give a big shout out to Jason, who stopped by me at Midwest Gaming Classic and told me all about this handheld and how I had to get one. Sure enough, I did. Kind of excited to see this because this is going to be something a little bit different from what I generally do. This is a little step up from it, I think. Alright, so let's take a look real quick at the box. There's the front of the box. The side. Oh, wait. 64-bit OS. Support arcade games, yes. Plus Game Boy Advance, SFC, that's Super Famicom, SNES, Sega, Famicom, NES, game series, a whole lot more actually. Large capacity TF card support, yes. Yeah, video, spelled Vito. Music playing, picture browser, ebook, blah. Supports 26 languages. There's the side. Other side has a console, obviously, AV cable, USB cable, and user manual. Finally, little diagram where the buttons are. USB port. There is an AV out on this, which is a big deal. I reviewed another one by RetroGame that didn't have that, and that was a big shortcoming of that system for me. So it's nice to see this one has one. and select and start to quit the game. All right, let's take a look at what's inside the box. Here we have the system itself. Come back to that in a minute. We have a manual, and it's in really small writing, so I won't read it here, but at least it's more than just a slip of paper. It's in full color, and it's kind of glossy. Not bad. Next we have one AV cable. It is the micro kind. It's okay quality. It's not super high quality. It's kind of on the chintzy side. One charge cable, also on the chintzy side. It's not terrible. It's kind of in the middle there, but not super great at all. And the system. Alright, so it's time for the walkthrough. Let's look at the D-pad. It's got a pretty decent D-pad. It feels good. It feels exactly the same as the K101. If you've ever played with the K101, you know what the D-pad's like. Start, select, A, B, X, Y, nicely colored. Matches the rather decent finish on the device itself. I really do like this, this look to this device. It's classy. Alright, if we go across the top, we've got two shoulder buttons. We've got the DC 5 volt in. That, of course, is just basically a regular charger adapter, a mini USB one. You have got this little guy right here, which controls the brightness of the screen. You've got this EXT1, which doesn't appear to do anything, and it's not marked as doing anything in the manual. Let's look at the right side. You got the volume control right here. Goes up pretty loud, not too bad. Got headphone jacks, that's kind of nice. Reset button, you'll need it from time to time. It does lock up every once in a while. You've got this little fake cartridge in here. No, it cannot play Game Boy Advance games in that manner. You can't put a GBA game in there. SD card, space for a lanyard, and of course the power button. Looking on the back, you have a battery space. Where you can put a battery in. If you ever want to hack this, you got to open it up using these 4 screws here. I will show you that, but in a different video. Alright, let's power this puppy up. Already got fingerprints on it. Oh, it drives me crazy. Nice bright screen. I like that. I mean, this screen is really good. The only negative it's really got going for it is just like the Revo K101, has a little bit of screen, not screen, but light leak on the right side. Kind of hate that, but it's not terrible. All right, very basic menu. You've got your games, you got your music, you've got your video player, you've got hills, I don't know, you've got pictures. Just kidding. You've got a text reader, file browser, and of course you've got the gears. There's a little bit of lag in the menu. These are playlists. Wait, let's see, you can do... How do you do that? You can do... Well, I can't do the playlist, but anyway. There's a way to edit them. And there it goes, it plays music. Okay, before I get a copyright strike, I'm gonna get out of there. And there's video. Come on. And again, I'm only gonna play like a second of this so we don't get it. There's some legs. Are you really going to use this to watch videos? You'd be crazy if you did. You could, though. Could happen. Pictures. I'm kind of afraid of what the pictures might be on here, but let's show them. Oh, that's nice. Alright, not too bad. And there is PDF, text, RTF. I like that they list this doc reader and HTML reader. They're all pretty uniformly horrible, just so you know. And then if we go in here, this, of course, is for browsing. And let's see, if I wanted to just play my podcast theme, it's smart enough to figure out what app it should play it in. Oops. And we own the rights to this one, so. And G2B is not going to sue me, so I don't have to worry about it. Also, if you're interested in playing a game and you have installed it in here, you can just browse to it. Just pretend this is the SD card, it will do the same thing. And let's go to... Where is it? Three Wonders, there we go. I really like this game. It's really 3 games. 3 in 1. But it'll choose the emulator, so if it has the emulator, it knows which one to use. So, pretty useful, really. Yes. Come on. There we go. I'll turn this down a little bit. Absolutely love this game. This is one of the first games that I played on MAME that I hadn't like previously played in the arcade. I was pretty impressed. At the very least, it was the first one I liked. As you can see, the screen's really nice and bright. The sound, if you can hear it, it's kind of middle of the road. It's a little bit on the overly Tony side. If you turn it down a little, it's a little better, but it's definitely not arcade perfect. Oops. Well, that was a mistake. No! There we go. And we'll just kill everybody, and there it is. Oh, they're getting away. There we go. Alright, let's go plug this into a screen and take a look.
Alright, so real quick, before I go into the games, let's go into the settings. It's a lot easier to do here. There's language settings. Background settings is pretty useful considering I don't particularly care for the default. And it's got a fairly decent selection of stuff that looks like it is either ripped off of the Mac or off of the Windows stuff. You can change your font color. It's a slider. It's annoying, so I don't mess with it. That said, I don't mind it too bad. Sound settings, you can change. I already did. It defaults to sound 1, and you have a choice of different sounds. Basically what that means is when I push up and down, it changes the sound that it's using for that. I know, it's super exciting. Backlight time. This is important for your battery life. This tells you how long the backlight will stay on when the device is sleeping. I do this for reviews. Generally, I just leave it on for a minute. You can restore default settings. See, again, English, I tell you. System info. There we go. It's the LN430. Disk capacity, how much you got available, and the version. TV out mode. This is super important because that's what I'm doing right now. Note that it will turn off the screen when you go into this mode. So it's not a big deal. I mean, all you got to do is reboot it. But if you go in this mode, just note that the screen here, see, it's off. So something to keep in mind. All right. On to the games, just probably what you really wanted to see. We already did the CPS first, so let's do a little Neogeo. It's not too bad on the Neogeo. I think it's, you know, as far as these devices go, it's pretty decent. I had somebody complain that, hey, you know, this isn't arcade perfect, blah, blah, blah. I don't know that you're ever going to expect this to be arcade perfect at like 50, 60 bucks. None of them are. I realize people say they are, but none of them are. So you gotta, keep in mind this runs it pretty well, and it's fun to play them on this device, and that's how I rate it. Anyway, just a little rant, little side rant. Gigawing, great game. Yeah, let's skip that. Too much talking. Not enough shooting. And it plays pretty smooth. There might be some frame skip every once in a while, but I'm not really feeling it. I played it before and thought there was a little bit of skip. Not too bad. No, not too bad at all. I'll just play to a boss. Controls are handling really well on this too. Really nice. Makes a lot of noise. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's clicky. It's not like Neogeo controller clicky. You ever heard one of those? But it's pretty clicky. I shouldn't have wasted that. Not really planning to go very far in the game, so no worries. Use the cool stuff. Okay, a little note. If I press both the start and select button, I can go into game settings. And I can switch from full to regular. There we go. But yeah, you'll see in a minute. Yeah, it plays a little tiny window then. And you can do this with all the games have this feature, but again, I haven't found it really useful in any of them. So there is that. I'm not going to play the boss. Feel free to just flame me to death. There's a lot of you who are really glad that I just didn't sit there and play it forever. Okay, so back to the main menu. That's a B press. And Game Boy Advance. This one, it's kind of a mixed bag I'm playing. I'm probably going to do, say... Yeah, let's do this one. These are all the built-in games, by the way, that I'm playing. As it says on the box, you can definitely add your own, and the first game that I demonstrated was basically in that vein. I basically showed you how you can do that. You can just browse to it and play it. It doesn't show up in the menu, though. Normal mode. Come on! I want to play. So now, Mega Man plays pretty well here. But, here, let me show you another game. Let's quit. Alright, so let's go browse over to one of my GBA ROMs here. Go to previous directory, SD card, and down at the bottom, there we go, we got Duke Nukem and Doom, which are usually pretty painful to get to run. English, blah, blah, blah. Too much talk. And you see, you can see how it's just kind of lagging around the corners. Sometimes it looks okay. It's overly bright too. Although it didn't show this problem when I was testing it last time, so I don't know what's up with that. It might be the screen. But you can see it just really has a hard time with the updates, and I've played a couple of handhelds that didn't do that. So this one's a little bit slower on games that require some decent 3D. All right, let's go back and quit. By the way, if you want to save a game, Instant Archive. That's how you save. I mean, you can save in-game if it features it, but if you just want to save and quit out mid-game, that's how you do it. Whistle past that graveyard. Been a while since I've seen one of those. And knee deep in the dead. I'm too young to die. No. And this, just look at how it just, yeah. And it acted like this last time. It's just dying. So it runs some games fairly well as far as the GBA goes, but more intensive games it just seems to crap out on. Alright, there was my point there. I'll try not to do that again. And go loading away. This will go a lot faster. Alright. Super Famicom. This is another one where it does okay at times, but again, it struggles a little. Should we do Metal Warriors? Let's do Metal Warriors. Blah, blah. The older I get, the more I hate intros. I don't know why. Impatience. I know I'm closer to death. So, this, it does okay. It does better than a lot of game systems do on SNES, but still, there's a little bit of frame skip. That sucks. And again, not all games run super well. This one's not too bad though. A lot of the side scrollers work pretty well. You know, the standards work pretty decently, but once you start getting to weirder stuff or things that aren't included on the device, it doesn't do as hot. Ooh, you need to die. Bugger. But you can see it's dropping a frame or two every once in a while. And you can kind of feel it in the controls too. Here, let's just try another, let's quit out of this and show another game real quick. No, I'm not playing that. I accidentally played Tin Star one time. It's like a shooting game, and it just doesn't play well with the D-pad at all. I never understood those games where they come out with those, you know, not arena shooting games, but just like, you know, carnival shooting games where it really requires a gun, and the system doesn't have a gun. Why do that? That's just terrible. Nobody wants to control. Nobody wants to control that kind of game with a D-pad or a joystick. Ugh. Really?
As you can see, Zool is actually kind of intensive, and yeah, it runs it good, right? Not bad. Was a little Canadian there. Did it right when I wasn't really asking if it was right. Here we go. So SNES, not perfect, but not bad. You know, just depending on the game. You know, it's going to depend on the individual game. So if you're looking for an individual game you want to play on the SNES for this, you should probably check some videos on it first. All right. Let's keep going. Mega Drive, which of course to us Americans was the Genesis. And we'll do Turbo Outrun. This fares pretty well as a general rule. And we'll just do automatic. Because I'm lazy. Let's go. Let's go. And the reason I select Outrun is because it does pose problems to some systems. And it's not posing a problem here, though. It's working pretty well. Ugh. Now, my skill level is posing a problem. I don't know why, but I still really like the graphics in this game. I realize it's pretty old, but it's one of the first racing games, I think, where you really felt like you were racing. You know, Turbo was okay. If you go way back, it was okay, but it wasn't quite the feeling of racing that you get here. Just that open road. Although it did have night mode, which is pretty cool. Ooh. That's gonna cost me. Turbo! Doing terrible. Terrible. Doesn't help that the turbo button is down where, what is it, B is, and the accelerator is on Y. No, X. X? Yeah, X. It's on X. Ah! Alright, there we go. Let's do another Genesis game real quick, just to get a little bit of a range on it. Ooh, Battle Squadron. I finished this game on the Amiga. One of the first shooters I think I finished. You know, because before that was Atari, and you didn't actually finish shooters back then. Those games. I really enjoyed the heck out of this one, though. Doesn't feel as smooth on this version. I think I did play this earlier on this and it felt okay. It might have been on the smaller screen though. Sometimes you notice stuff on the bigger screen that you don't notice when you're looking at the, you know, the little tiny 4-inch thing that they've got. Oh, I'm doing terrible. Did I just die? I did. I got a game over on that? Horrendous. I'll be back. I might get that for the Genesis. Might actually go buy the real game. If it was Classic Game Room, I'd be doing the Truxton one, but I'm not gonna. And we have, look at, we got the Angry Birds, the fake Angry Bird games. Okay, so this is NES or
If you want to call it Famicom, you know, be my guest. Let's see. Bubble Bobble. I always do Bubble Bobble. Because I'm always looking for a reason to play it. We'll just do 2 levels of it. Famicom doesn't suffer at all, so I'll just do 1 game on this. It, you know, it runs fine on it. As you would definitely expect. There we go. Oh, no, don't. Get it. There we go. Yeah, I like me some collectibles. Here we go. Solid game. Come on. I have this on the Famicom disk system, and it's pretty good. Not 2, but 1, the original one. But supposedly it's got better music. Oh, shoot. I couldn't vouch for that, though. No! I cannot believe I just did that. Oh, come on. I did it again. I did the exact same thing I did last time. It shouldn't have moved. Should not. You know what? Fine. Instead of doing it all stylish, I'll just do it like a peasant. Still got them all at once, though. Alright, so there's Famicom. Works just fine. Do and quit. And back. How about the Game Boy Color? This is nice because I don't need to do any hacking around to get this one to do Game Boy Color. Thank you. I like that. Let's do... I did Yar's Revenge before. Let's do... Probably should have just done that. Let's do Rainbow Islands too. Nah, let's do R-Type. We'll do R-Type. We already did Bubble Bobble. Why do Rainbow Islands? Nintendo presents. Let's do some shooting. I have this game. Like the actual cartridge of it. It's good. Let's do Enhanced. For Game Boy Color. Ooh, it's Enhanced. Hear that button a-clicking. Oh yeah. Alright, so for the most part, this fares way better, and I mean way better, than the last one of these retro game systems did. And that's largely because it's emulating it directly instead of using like a Game Boy Advance emulator to play Game Boy Color games. And it does work really pretty well, as you can see. And again, this looks a lot better on the small screen too. It looks really pretty good. There we go. Launch them into space. Get out of here, you little buggers. Rats. Alright. Back to it. And quit. And back. Okay, now Sega Master System. Underrated game system, in my opinion.
I've not played a whole lot of the Master System on this thing. I'm going to assume it does it well based on its SNES performance, but... Oh. I'm going to assume my performance is going to be horrible, though, based on my past performance. Die. Oh yeah, it plays fine. Ugh. Come on. Come on. He kicked my butt. Darn it. I'm going down. Landed right on him. Terrible! Terrible! But the game's fine. My gameplay is off. I've had 2 days of really just not playing games well. So I have to apologize for my gameplay. And it's only got a few built in, which is kind of interesting too. Alright. Alex Kidd in Shinobi World. Good game. No, Game Gear. Yeah, should we do Wizard Pinball? Let's do Wizard Pinball. It's nice that they're doing a lot of handheld games, though. And why shouldn't they? It's a handheld, after all. Come on. Does it have enough flippers? Ooh. In the dungeon. I'm gonna pull out the Game Gear one of these days, and I've got my Game Gear. I put in a LED backlight for the screen when the original one burnt out, and that's a lot better. But still, you know, you've still got the quality of the screen and the speed of the original screen, which sucks. This is actually a much better way to play most Game Gear games than the actual Game Gear, to be honest. Although, you know, it doesn't feel the same. I really like the Game Gear's heft. It is, like, a pretty big system. Not as big as the Lynx, though. Thing's gigantic. Oh yeah, there's a lot of scrolling going on there. Magic. Oh, there we go. Alright. Go to the bottom. And finally we have the Game Boy, which I think you can predict is going to work pretty well. Little Kid Icarus. I don't think I've played this on any of my videos yet, so let's do this one. And I don't think I played this version of it. Ah, looks pretty nice. I played it on the Famicom. Because it's like way cheaper on the Famicom than it was on the NES for a long time. I don't think that's true anymore. It's not like it used to be. It used to be where you could buy things for the Famicom like super cheap, even though they were expensive on the NES. So you'd import them, and you know, yeah, the shipping would be kind of expensive, but the the price of the game itself would be super cheap, so it'd make up for it. Now, not so much. A lot of people are importing games.
I still do it with like Game Gear games though. I got a couple of import Game Gear games in there. Pretty nice. I like the boxes better, honestly. Alright, that's it with that. Jeez. It's like some abuse right there. I want that cup. I want that cup. Come here. Got it. See how high I can get. Ooh. Free stuff. I needed that. Let's see. Great. I'm Mario. It's a me, Mario. So, I'm gonna go around trying to bludgeon them to death with this thing. Arrgh. Oh yeah! That's totally a winner weapon. Bludgeon them. Bludgeon them. Ah. And I'm dead. Alright. Let's go get a verdict on this. Alright, so the verdict on the RS-97. Well, I gotta tell you, for a budget device, it's pretty darn good. It's got a great screen. The controls work really well. It feels tight. It doesn't feel like it's gonna break. I like the fact that it both has video out and a separate audio out. So if you're like playing on the TV at night and you want to put headphones in, you can do that. Not that the sound's the greatest on it anyway. But it's not terrible. Most of the emulators work really good. There's a little bit of a slowdown on SNES games, some of them worse than others, and as you saw on the Game Boy Advance, it doesn't do 100%. In fact, it probably only does about 70% on that. However, there is one feature I have not covered during this video, and I'm going to make another video about it. You can hack this thing. This review's about this thing if you got it stock. But you can hack this thing, and I'm going to show you how you can do it, and then you'll have access to the entire Dingu library, or at least most of the Dingu games library, which means that you get a hold of the Dingu emulators, which means you can emulate a lot of the older systems, like the Atari 2600, the Intellivision, I mean, you name it, you can emulate it with this at that point. And as an open source handheld, this thing becomes awesome. But we'll talk about that more later. So, conditional thumbs up. Do not pay like $60 for this. Get it for about $45 to $50 and you're going to be happy with it. Again, it's not a perfect emulation device, but it is darn good and it's got a nice price on it.
Retro Rocks Gaming Videos.